You've been asked to give feedback on one or more of your colleagues by completing a 360-degree feedback questionnaire. This video will help you to give helpful feedback with some tips and guidance on best practice. The feedback from the questionnaire enables personal development by providing an individual with diverse and honest feedback on their capability and competency from the people who work with them. This can be used to help build on key strengths and explore development areas. For the organization, there are a number of benefits of providing meaningful feedback, including increased organizational productivity, improved organizational performance, higher employee engagement, as well as encouraging a healthier feedback culture. A few things you need to know before you begin. All feedback is handled confidentially by a third-party provider, ETS. You can only be identified on the final report if you're the individual's line manager. Feedback from direct reports and peers will only be reported in groups of 3 or more to protect anonymity. When completing the questionnaire, it's important to provide responses that are as honest as possible. In order to do so, there are a few things to consider. Don't be afraid to use the whole rating scale. It's all anonymous if you are a direct report or a peer. The rating scale options available are not effective, somewhat effective, effective, very effective, extremely effective, no opportunity to observe. Other things to consider are trust your gut reaction. Move swiftly through the questions as your immediate response is usually the most reliable. Test your feedback against examples to make sure it's the right decision. Be open and honest. Remember that the extent to which you're able to observe behaviors will vary depending on your role and business relationship to the feedback receiver, so it's important to base your feedback on the behaviors you directly observe so it'll be of the most use to the feedback receiver. If you feel that you can't answer some of the questions because you haven't witnessed this behavior, select the No Opportunity to Observe statement. For example, as a colleague, you may not have very good visibility of the individual's line management behaviors. Likewise, if you feel that you don't know the person well enough to give feedback, you have the option to decline the invitation and state why. What else should you be aware of when providing feedback? Leniency, over or under rating, which is when a respondent gives answers that are much higher or lower than the actual level of what's been observed. If you find yourself responding to most questions at one end of the scale, then you're perhaps being either too harsh or too lenient. Halo effect is when a respondent allows an overall impression of the participant's behavior to impact positively on all other aspects. And the horn effect is when a respondent allows an overall impression of the participant's behavior to impact negatively on all other aspects. Focus on one question at a time and try not to allow your overall opinion or relationship with the participant to influence your responses to specific questions. Recency, last event. This occurs when responses are influenced by a recent event that may have had a positive or negative impact. When providing feedback, try to focus on what you've observed over the whole year or since you last provided feedback to this individual. For questions that require a free text, open response, the feedback will be recorded word for word. You should ensure all comments are written to help the individual improve behavior. You provide relevant, actionable feedback. Comments are constructive and supportive. You take the time to comment on the good things that people do. You keep your feedback concise and clear. Once you've completed the questionnaire, your feedback will be collated into a report and shared with the participant and their line manager. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any more questions about feedback, please ask one of the HR team.